What's up, YouTube? I hope each and every one of you guys are having an awesome day. Today I'm enjoying the beautiful weather. It's not too sunny and the temperature is just right. But today we're reviewing the 2022 GMC Terrain AT4. Huge thank you to Felipe Portillo over at Koons, Tysons, Chevy, Buick, GMC for allowing me to do this review for you guys today. If you guys are interested in this particular Terrain AT4 or any GM product with the exception of Cadillac, I'll be sure to have Felipe's information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. All right, guys, first let's talk about the exterior and performance. And like I said, this is a 2022 GMC Terrain AT4, and this particular one has been painted in ebony twilight metallic, which is a $495 option. But let's start over here at our headlights, because these headlights were revised for 2022. So you do get revised LED headlights as well as LED daytime running lights as well as IntelliBeam. IntelliBeam is automatic high beams, and that is where you will find your halogen fog lamps. Taking a step back, let's take a look at the AT4, because again, for 2022 you also do get a revised grille as well as a revised front bumper. So let's talk about this grille here for a second, because like I mentioned, this is the AT4 Terrain. So the AT4 Terrain does get black chrome exterior accents, as you guys can see with that black chrome grille, as well as just below your halogen fog lamps you will find another black chrome trim piece as well. But going back to the grille, as you guys might be able to notice, you do have a GMC emblem written out at the center of that grille. Just below that GMC emblem you will find your forward-facing camera. Just to the right of your forward-facing camera you will find your AT4 emblem. Take a step back and let's talk about one more safety feature that the AT4 does have up here at the front, and that is your forward-facing sensors. You got one here, one here, one here, and one over here on your passenger side for a total of 4 forward-facing sensors. But I keep mentioning, yes, this is the AT4. So another thing that you do get with the AT4, because this is the off-road variant of the Terrain, is that you do get a front steel skid plate under there. I'm not sure if the camera is going to be able to see it, but you do have a steel skid plate under there if you guys are going to take this thing off-road. I doubt very many of you guys are going to take this thing off-road, but if you do have a front steel skid plate. But let's take a look at these wheels, because these are the standard 17-inch wheels wrapped in AT4 exclusive Goodyear 225/65 Sport Terrain tires. I'll show you guys the tread pattern on those tires here. So these tires are, you know, pretty beefy. They do have a little bit of tread out here on the sidewall of the tire, so they do look, you know, semi beefy, especially for, you know, the look of this mid-sized SUV. I really don't think very many of you guys are going to be off-roading it, but those tires do look very, very good wrapped around those black 17-inch wheels. Just to the right of those black 17-inch wheels, you guys see you have another AT4 emblem on your driver's side door. You also have one of those on your passenger side door as well. Just above that AT4 emblem, you will find you do have body colored as well as heated mirrors with integrated turn signals right here. Those are LED turn signals, as well as just below everything you will find your camera. That camera goes along with the 360-degree view camera that is equipped on this particular Terrain. Some of these Terrains, if you guys do not option for it, do not come with a 360-degree view camera, as well as all Terrains do not come with blind spot monitoring, but this particular one does have it. As you guys can see, you do have a black window trim surround. It looks absolutely awesome, especially because this does have black paint, black wheels. And taking a look up here, you also do have black roof rails. This particular Terrain does have the $305 roof racks. As you guys can see, they do go across just like that. You have one in the front and one towards the back. You also do have body colored door handles, which look very, very good. I do wish though that this button right here was also blacked out, but I don't think it's really that big of a deal. But this car does have keyless access, so all you got to do is have your key fob in your pocket, push on this button, you can lock the vehicle. Like right now it is locked. Push that button again and the vehicle is unlocked. If you guys do want to know a little bit of a hack, you guys can push the button right here and that unlocks all 4 of your doors. So now this door is unlocked. and this door is unlocked. But if you only press this one right here, you press this button once, this door is the only door that is unlocked, and this door is not unlocked. As you guys can see, you do have some plastic body cladding at the bottom of your passenger doors. Push this and you do reveal your capless filler neck. 87 octane is just fine. Again, same wheel and tire size as the front. This is a squared stance vehicle. And let's take a step back. I do love how this vehicle is pretty much all blacked out. You have a black shark fin antenna up here, as well as this kind of looks like a spoiler. It looks pretty aggressive. I'm a big fan of the way that looks. And your third brake light is smoked, so it's got like a black tint type to it. It looks very, very good. I personally like the look of the AT4 over the Denali, but you know, that all comes down to personal preference. Again, just like the front, the back also does get revised LED taillights, as well as you do get black chrome accents right here as well under your GMC emblem. You know, I can't really tell, but it looks like this is just plain regular chrome. Doesn't look like this, like the outline of the GMC is in black chrome. Just looks like regular chrome to me, but you know, my eyes could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's just regular chrome. Moving down to the bottom left-hand side of your power liftgate, it does say Terrain, and on the bottom right-hand side of your power liftgate, you have another AT4 emblem. And just below all of that, you will find another black chrome trim piece right here, and you have a reflector on your driver's side, as well as a reflector over here on your passenger side as well. And another thing, let's talk about safety features while we are back here. You do have a reverse camera right under your GMC emblem, and you also do have 4 more backup sensors on the bottom of the rear bumper. One right there, there, and there as well. But let's take a look at the trunk storage space. So put my hand under here, you feel a pad, and the trunk will open. You got a very good amount of storage space back here. I would say you could probably fit 4 to 8 carry-on suitcases. If you guys do want to stack them, you may be able to fit 8, but if you guys are not going to stack them, you can fit 4. If you guys want to fold down these seats, pull right here, seat folds down, pull the one on the bottom, and the left side folds down as well. That didn't fold down because that passenger seat is pretty far back, but if you push that passenger seat up for a second, it will drop down. Take a look under here. Got a little bit more storage space down here, as well as your tow hook. But yeah, let's close that. Close the power lift gate, and let's do a little walk around of the Terrain AT4. I really do think that this is a very good looking, rugged, mid-sized SUV. So if you guys do want the truckish look to your mid-sized SUV, then the Terrain may be the SUV for you. If you guys do not like the truckish look, then maybe the AT4 Terrain is not for you. Personally, I'm a big fan of the way the Terrain AT4 looks. It gives you that rugged, truckish look on a mid-sized SUV for a pretty good price, in my personal opinion. But we've talked about the exterior. Now, let's move into performance. Popping open that hood reveals that Ecotec 1.5 liter turbo 4-cylinder that makes 170 horsepower and 203 pound-feet of torque. That's mated to a 9-speed automatic transmission for a 0 to 60 time in 9 seconds. This Terrain AT4 does have all-wheel drive, so if you guys were wondering about fuel economy, you can achieve 25 miles per gallon city, 28 miles per gallon on the highway, and 26 miles per gallon combined when optioned with all-wheel drive. So those numbers are very, very good, especially with gas prices nowadays, and especially considering this does have all-wheel drive. But if you guys are enjoying the video so far today, please give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm really gunning for 50,000 subscribers by the end of 2022. I know that's a very ambitious goal, but I really do think that we can make it work if I keep up on my end of the deal of 4 uploads per week. That is my goal, but I really do think we can make 50,000 subscribers happen. I just need you guys, please, to hit that subscribe button. Please give this video a big thumbs up, and please leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what your favorite feature has been of the GMC Terrain AT4. All those comments, all those likes look very good in the YouTube YouTube algorithm, so YouTube will recommend my videos more. I am doing an LS swap on a 1987 Ford F-150. It's going to have a 5.3 liter V8 in it. It's going to start off naturally aspirated, then it's going to go to a cam and heads. I know that is also naturally aspirated, but the end goal of that build is to do a twin turbo or supercharger on that 5.3 or a 6 liter. Not quite sure if the 5.3 is the final motor in that truck. However, if that is something you guys would be interested in, hit that subscribe button, push that notification bell, and let's move into the interior. So like I said when we were talking about the exterior, this vehicle does have keyless access. I mean, it is 2022 after all, and this is the higher end trim level on the Terrain, so you do have keyless access. All you got to do is have your key fob in your pocket, push on this button, and the door will open up. One more thing though, before we moved into the interior, that I wanted to show you guys that has to do with the key fob, is that you can open the trunk with the key fob by pushing that button twice, but you also do see you have a little arrow right here. So if I press this lock button once and I press and hold this arrow button, the vehicle will fire up. As you guys can hear, vehicle fired up. This is a very, very quiet motor, so you can't really hear it. But let's move into the interior. Opening up the door, let's take a look at the door panel. As you guys can see, you do have like a faux carbon fiber type trim piece right here, 2 memory seat adjustment settings right there, aluminum door handle, unlock and lock button. Just below that you will find you do have an automatic up and down driver window, but all the other windows are only automatic down. You do not have power folding side view mirrors. However, you do have power adjustable side view mirrors. This particular button right here, if you have kids and they keep rolling up and down the window, up and down and up and down and up and down, you can lock their window and restrict their window access by pushing on that button right there. Little spot to, you know, either set a couple quarters or something like that, or that's a very helpful spot to close the door. As you guys can see, just below that you do find your AT4 specific accent colored stitching. It is like a brown type of a color. Moving over to here, not very much storage space, but you can set an easy pass if you so desire. Right over here, this is where you will find the button to open or close your power lift gate. As you guys can see, it says 3/4 and max. 3/4 means that it only opens up the power lift gate 3/4 of the way. Turn it to max, it opens up the power lift gate all the way, but let's leave it on 3/4 because that's what it was. Just below all of that, you got a great spot to set a smart water bottle if you so desire, but you know, storage space isn't the greatest at the bottom of the Terrain AT4's door panel. Moving over to here, you guys will see you have a Bose speaker, and it also says Bose on it, just to let you know that it is a Bose speaker. This particular vehicle does have a 7-speaker Bose sound system, but we'll get to that here in a minute. GMC door sill right here, and let's take a look at these seats because these seats look super, super awesome. AT4 embossed at the middle of your headrest, some more of that AT4 specific seat piping, as well as accented colored stitching, more seat piping on the seat itself. I really like the accented colored stitching right here, but you guys can see some more accent colored stitching, but it is in red. Same goes for the passenger seat. One thing about these seats is that they are electric. Passenger seat is also electric, but if you guys are, you know, thicker or on the thicker side of things, these seats may be a little bit tight for you. I know me, I'm 5'9", 145 pounds, and these seats fit me very, very nicely. Very nice bolstering on the right and left side of my stomach. So yeah, I approve of these seats. I did remote start the vehicle, so all I got to do is put my foot on the brake, push this button right here, and everything will turn on. Let's turn the steering wheel straight, turn that down so I don't get a copyright infringement, and let's talk about the interior. Let's start over here at the left hand side of the interior. Pushing this button right here activates your electronic emergency brake, so that's what that button does. Now the emergency brake is on, and it will let you know that it is on by that park little light right there. It says park, and then it also gives you a little warning that, yeah, the emergency brake is on. Just above that, you find your heads-up display, and what's really interesting about this heads-up display, I've never seen this in any other vehicle, is that if I turn on my heads-up display by pushing that button, a little like panel thing pops up from right there. I don't know if you guys could see that, but this like little like square box right here is a panel. It's not like just directly into your windshield, as you guys can see. Kind of strange. If I push up on this like this, the panel goes right back down. just really interesting. I've never seen that on any vehicle before, but yeah, you do have a heads-up display on this particular terrain. Not all terrains get a heads-up display. You have to option for that, but we'll get into that here in a minute. Here is your 4.2-inch driver information screen, so you guys can go through and see, you know, your fuel range. Here, I'll show you guys. So go through here, you guys go home, you guys can see you have your fuel range, your speedometer. This is the speed limit sign. That's your compass. We're facing east right now. That's your odometer. This vehicle has 13 miles on it. Lets us know we are in park. But if I go over to here, you guys can find you have 4 different arrows. So let's flip the arrow to the left and we'll go through. Got a speedometer. This lets us know our distance and our average speed on trip 2. Go down one more time. There's fuel range, instant fuel range, oil life, tire pressure, air filter life, average speed, and you also have a timer. Go over to one more. We are in demo mode, so but it will let you know you got FM, AM, Sirius XM, stuff like that, Bluetooth audio. It doesn't let us do it because we are in demo mode. Go into menu, I can go to radio, media, browse media, favorites, blah blah blah, all these different things. Go back over one more time. We're on a low speed road, like I said. Compass right there. I go into menu right here. You can go to recents or favorites. Go back over one more time, phone stuff. And then these are all your different settings. So you guys can go through speed warning, blah, blah, blah. But I personally like to have it on the speedometer with my fuel range. Just personal preference. You have an analog RPM gauge over here, analog fuel gauge just below your fuel gauge. You do see you have a little gas pump with the arrow pointing to the left. That means your capless filler neck is on the left side of the vehicle. Coolant temperature right there, and you have an analog speedometer over here to the right. Like I said, this does have IntelliBeam, which is automatic high beams, and this is where your headlight controls are. Right now we are in automatic. Flip it up like that. Now these are daytime running lights on. Flip it up one more time. These are headlights always on. Let's leave it in auto mode. If you guys can see right here, I'm not sure if the camera is going to pick it up too well, but you have like a little thing that looks like a high beam. If I push that in, now my automatic high beams are on. Push it again, they're off. This is how I turn my high beams on. Pull back, that turns them off. Let's take a listen to what the blinker sounds like. You know, just a regular GM blinker. Go over to here. If I twist this down, now my halogen fog lamps are on. Flip it down one more time. Now they are off. Let's take a look at the steering wheel. You got your chrome little trim piece right here, GMC logo at the center. Let's take a listen to the horn. Leather wrapped steering wheel, and it is also heated by the push of that button. Now the heated steering wheel is on. These are your adaptive cruise control settings right over here. Moving over to here, like I said, this stuff controls your 4.2-inch driver information screen. You can speak to the vehicle right here or answer a phone call. This hangs up the phone call. Just behind here, you guys will see these 2 buttons. This is to go forward on a track, this is to go back on a track, and on the right hand side of the steering wheel you have the same thing. This is volume up. If I can get the camera focused on it, this is volume up, this is volume down, just below the volume up. Push to start. This lets us know that the vehicle is on. And just to the right of that, you will find your 8-inch touch infotainment screen with navigation and wireless Apple CarPlay, as well as wireless Android Auto. This vehicle also does have a Wi-Fi hotspot. So if you guys do have kids or whatever, just know that you guys can pay for a Wi-Fi hotspot, and you don't have to have, you know, cellular data on their iPads. But you can go into your different audio. Like I said, this does have Sirius XM. Press this home button right here. It brings us back to our home screen. Wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, Wi-Fi hotspot. Like I said, this does have built-in navigation, and that built-in navigation does come with the infotainment pack 2, which is an $1,180 option, and it also does include that Bose 7-speaker sound system. So if you guys do want a nicer sound system, then you might want to get that infotainment pack 2. I don't think built-in navigation really matters, especially considering this does have wireless Apple CarPlay, so you guys can pull up your Google Maps, you can pull up your Waze on the screen. You can go through your different settings, stuff like that. You can go into your camera. Like I said, this does have a 360-degree view camera. And one thing I will say about this screen and about these cameras is that the camera resolution as well as the screen resolution is crystal clear. So big fan of the camera as well as this screen. The screen is super responsive and stuff like that. I have not had any lag with it whatsoever. If you guys go into My GMC, you guys can set up service appointments and stuff like that. You can go into OnStar, talk to the people over there at OnStar. This is your volume knob. This is your tuning knob. You can also go throughout the screen with this knob right here. So if you guys don't want to mess with the touch screen, you guys can, you know, push this. So let's go over here to audio. As you guys can see, it goes into orange. So we're on Wi-Fi, twist to the left, nav, phone, audio. Push this, it brings us into audio. Let's go back home. And you guys can see 4G LTE, 85 degrees outside. Your ambient exterior temperature is right there, as well as your time right there. Automatic stop start on or off, that's the button you would press. Hazard button right here. To go back on a track, that's the button you press. Go forward on a track, that's the other button you press. This is your back button. Just below all of that, you have your climate control settings. You have dual zone climate control, so I can adjust, you know, I'm at 61, 62, 63. He's still on low. If you guys want them to be the same as the driver, push this sync button, and now they are both the exact same temperature. Just below all of that, and this is one thing that took me maybe 10 seconds to find where, you know, the gear shifter was, but you know, other vehicles I can get in and boom, I'm in drive. But just below the climate control stack, you will find your park, reverse, neutral, and drive. Push to go into park, pull to go into reverse, push to go into neutral, and pull back to go into drive. If I want to go into low, that is the button I press, that L, and I can up or downshift by the plus, upshift. The minus right here, that is to downshift, but let's go back into park. Just below all of that, you have a perfect spot to set a phone, USB-C port, USB-A port. You have a auxiliary jack right there, as well as a 12-volt power outlet just to the right of your auxiliary jack. 2 cup holders right here. This is to turn your park sense on or off. You have 2 different heated seat buttons, so this will just heat your back, this will heat your back and your butt, and you have 3 levels of adjustability when it comes to your heated seat. Moving over to here, right now we are in 2-wheel drive, so he says ×2. Switch over here to the right, now we are in ×4. That's all-wheel drive on. Switch over one more time, now we are in off-road mode. So let's go back over one more time. Now we are back in front wheel drive. This is hill descent control. Hill descent control does come with the AT4, and this is your lane keeping system button. So you guys can turn that on or off if you desire. Take a look over here. You guys can set a phone, or the passenger can set a phone in here. Take a look at the glove box. You know, it's a decent sized glove box in there. Closing that. This side looks the exact same as your driver's side, but you do have an auto dimming rear view mirror up here, a spot to set your sunglasses, which a lot of GM vehicles do not have a sunglass holder. So I do like that this particular GM vehicle does. You do have LED interior lights. If you guys want to open up the shade for your pano roof, that would be the button you press. If you guys do want to get the panoramic moonroof, it is a $1,495 option, and I do think that it is worth it because it really makes the interior feel a lot more open and airy. Opening up my visor on the driver's side, there is your vanity mirror with 2 lights. Same thing over for the passenger. 2 lights in your vanity mirror. You also have a spot to set your registration right here. Same with on the passenger side as well. Universal garage door opener. This opens up the panoramic moonroof. This is the shade for the panoramic moonroof. If I push this, that means when I open up the door, the vehicle will not have the lights on. However, if I close the door and I push that again and that amber light turns off, the lights will turn on with the door. These, I can turn the interior lights on or off by the push of that button, as you guys can see. And here are your OnStar controls, and this is letting you know passenger airbag on or off. A couple more things. Good amount of storage space right here. Same for this side. Over here, you guys can maybe set a clipboard in there. Actually, probably not. Maybe another Easy Pass or 2. Opening this up, you got a little divider right in here, as well as an LED light and 2 more USB-A ports. Closing that, another spot to maybe set your phone, or the passenger can set their phone right in there. And let me talk about a couple different options that this particular GMC Terrain does come optioned with. So this particular Terrain does come with the $850 tech package, which comes with the $645 Pro Safety Plus package, which includes rear cross traffic alert as well as front and rear park assist, adaptive cruise control, heads-up display, 360-degree view camera, lane change alert with blind spot monitoring, and safety alert seat, which lets you know if there's stuff or people in your back seats. And both of those two options in collaboration with each other total out to be $1,495. And I'm gonna mention this again because maybe some of you guys didn't miss it or you skipped to this part of the video. This vehicle also does have the $1,180 infotainment pack 2, which comes with that 8-inch infotainment with built-in navigation and that 7-speaker Bose sound system. I'm also going to put now on screen the different safety features that this particular vehicle does have. If you guys are interested, you guys can pause your screen right now, take a look at the safety features. But I do want to talk about now the MSRP of this particular vehicle, and I'll put the window sticker on screen right now. The MSRP of this particular Terrain AT4 as it sits is $40,855. And considering the price of vehicles today, I think that is a bargain because you're pretty much getting a fully loaded vehicle that looks super, super good. It's super, super comfortable. So for 40 grand, you're actually getting a lot, especially for 2022 standards today. But I want to move into those rear seats. So if you guys do sit in the rear seats often, you guys know what you're getting yourself into. Same exact door panel pretty much as the front, except you only have automatic down windows. You do not have automatic up windows. A little bit of storage space here. You do not have AT4 embossed into these headrests. However, you do have some of that accent colored stitching as well as that piping. Like I said, you guys can fold these seats down by the push of that button or the pull of that lever in the back there. You do have a center fold down armrest right here with 2 cup holders, and you also do have 2 USB-A ports right here and a 120 volt household power outlet down here. But let's talk about headroom and legroom for somebody who's adjusted behind myself. I'm 5'9", like I mentioned, and I'm sitting behind myself, and I got plenty of legroom, plenty of headroom, and these seats back here are also very, very comfortable. I've got plenty of legroom, plenty of headroom, and these seats are just also very, very comfortable in and of themselves. So yeah, I could see myself doing, you know, a 6 to 10 hour road trip back here and still be comfortable even with, you know, 3 other passengers in the vehicle. One more thing I guess I should mention is that you do also have 2 HVAC vents in the back of your center console. But we've talked a lot about the exterior, we've talked a lot about the performance, and now we've talked about what's going on here in the interior. So I'm sure you guys are wondering how this thing drives, so I will see you guys in the driver's seat. All right, guys, and now onto the driving portion of the review. So push my foot on the brake, push the button, and the vehicle will fire up. Let's go into drive. All I got to do is pull back on that button right there. Now we are in drive, and let's go. And again, like an idiot, I forgot my POV hat again, which yesterday I forgot it, and I was gonna try to remind myself to bring it today. But you know, honestly, this was a last minute thing. I didn't know I was going to do a video today, but just kind of disappointed that I do not have my POV hat. But it's not too much of an issue because I can just hold the camera in my hand and give you guys a POV drive, you know. So this vehicle rides and drives very, very nicely. Like I said, it does have that 1.5 liter 4-cylinder that makes 170 horsepower and 203 pound-feet of torque. However, it actually, you know, gets up and goes pretty dang well. I haven't floored it yet, so I don't know, you know, what the full out max acceleration is. I'm sure it might be a little bit underwhelming, but you know, just the regular day-to-day driving, it's got plenty of get up and go. It's got that low end torque to get you moving without really having to put your foot that far into the throttle, which is, you know, very, very nice for day-to-day driving. I'm also very impressed with the fuel economy, especially considering this is an all-wheel drive vehicle. However, right now it is in 2-wheel drive, so you guys can select if you do want it in 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, or that off-road mode. So if you guys are going to take this off-road, You got the off-road mode to do that. However, you know, I don't know if this thing would do, you know, that great off-road, because it's got those 225 section tires, and I feel like if you get into any sort of mud, those tires are just gonna sink right in, because they don't have, you know, the width of an off-road tire and how an off-road tire really should be. But like I said earlier on in the video, I really don't think any of you guys are really going to be taking this thing off-road much more than, you know, maybe a muddy road every now and then, if you absolutely have to go on a muddy road. But let's do a little pull out onto this road here, and let's see how the acceleration is. Not crazy acceleration, but actually very good acceleration. I didn't floor it there, but I did give it a little bit of the beans just to, you know, merge into traffic, and it did fantastic. So nothing to complain there. Let's turn on the heads-up display so I can go over to here, flip this thing down, and the heads-up display will pop up. As you guys can see, such an interesting heads-up display. I've never seen something like that before. I'm gonna adjust the heads-up display so I can see it better. Pull it up just a little bit, and I'm happy with it right there. I'm not sure if the camera's gonna see it. Let's take a look. Yeah, camera is seeing it now, and that little panel that pops up really doesn't bother me that much. I thought it might bother me a little bit, but it really doesn't. It is clear, so it's very easy to see through, and you can see your speed. I can go through my different information here. It says now I got the speed limit sign on there. I can do this. I got the RPMs and the speed. Go one more time. Now this is just speed, but I like the speed and the speed limit sign. And like I said, I'm not sure if the camera is going to pick the speed limit and the speed up, but let's see if I can. Yeah, right there. You can get a little bit of a glimpse of what it says right about there. But I'm just kind of perplexed on why GM did this little like panel thing. Why they didn't just do a regular heads-up display. So that wouldn't be a question that I could answer, but if you guys do know the answer to that question, leave a comment in the comment section down below. But like I said, it really does not affect your driving. It doesn't get in the way of what you want to see. It is clear, so it's very easy, like I said, to see through. Fuel level is low. I already knew that, but I'm kind of interested to see what the sun glare is like when the sun is shining this way or the sun is shining this way, if it really, you know, reflects the light into your eyes. That's a question that I can't answer at the moment because it's not sunny out right now. But let's do a little hard acceleration onto the highway here. Just full disclosure here, this is a downhill ramp, but we're gonna do a 0 to 60, make sure nobody's behind us here. And nobody is behind us, and we'll gun it from a stop. 3, 2, 1. So yes, not the fastest, but you know, I don't think you're buying this to have a very fast vehicle. You're buying it to have an efficient, all-wheel drive, good-looking SUV, which is exactly what this vehicle is. So yeah, it's not going to set any speed records, but you know, it's fast enough. I think it's fast enough for you guys who are looking at getting one of these. I think it's like an 8 or 9 second 0 to 60 is what I said. So you know, it's quick enough. You guys want something faster, go out and get a Yukon 6.2 liter. Fuel economy is going to suffer if you get one of those, but that's going to be definitely quicker than this, and still all-wheel drive. But it is definitely a bigger body, got more space in that, but you really can't compare this to that. But just saying, if you guys want something that's a little bit faster, that is something that you could get. Or you know, a lot of the vehicles in this class are not fast. So like I said, the people looking at this vehicle, or the people who are viewing this video, I really don't think that you guys care about speed. Maybe you do a little bit, but like I said, this thing is fast enough. Brakes are great. You really don't have to put your foot that far into the brake pedal in order to get this thing to stop. It's a very linear feeling brake pedal. Let's do another little acceleration here. I'm not going to floor it, but I'm going to get on it a little. It doesn't sound the greatest, but it also doesn't sound the worst. It's not obnoxious. And like I said, it can get up and go out of its own way. Blind spots, you really have a very good view out of the right side. Not nothing crazy blind spot wise, but if you guys do have a blind spot, or you guys do notice a blind spot after driving this thing for a little while, just remember that you do have blind spot monitoring, so I don't think that that should be an issue. But yeah, this thing's super easy to drive. Steering is very loose, so you can turn this thing with one finger, no problem. The suspension is also very soft, so when you go over bumps and stuff like that, it just absorbs them. It's a very smooth ride. I think if you guys were gonna rip up the back roads, I really don't think that this thing is gonna rip up the back roads all too well with that suspension and those super skinny tires. But I really think if you're buying one of these, you're not buying one of these to rip up the back roads or anything like that. But this thing really makes for the perfect daily driver. It gets great fuel economy. It rides super well. Got a lot of safety features, forward facing camera, rear facing camera. You get the side view cameras on the side, blind spot monitoring, front sensors, rear sensors, adaptive cruise control. You know, this thing has got a ton of features. You got the panoramic moonroof, you got these heated seats. One thing I wish that this did have was ventilated seating, but that's not really that big of a deal. But like I said, this is a great daily driver, and for $40,000 I think that's a great price. Like I said, especially for 2022 standards, with everything being super expensive. But yeah, like I said, this is a fantastic daily driver, fantastic fuel economy, super easy to drive. Steering feel is super light. It's got the right amount of power. You got a heads-up display. It's got tons of features, wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, USB-A ports, USB-C ports. It's got that household power outlet in the back. It's got a 12-volt power outlet, and it's just got those very aggressive, you know, truck-like-ish look on an SUV. So I think this car is fantastic. If you guys are looking at getting one, you know, take it for a test drive. Let me know what you think. See if you like it, see if you hate it, and let me know in the comment section down below. But that's gonna be it for today's video, guys. If you guys did enjoy the video, please give it a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. Like I said, I am doing a build on a 1987 Ford F-150, and it is going to be an LS swapped F-150. So if that is something you guys want to see, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you guys never miss a new 703 speed video. If you guys are interested in this particular GMC Terrain, like I said, I'll have Felipe's information in the description box down below. But that's it for today's video. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Seem like every captain gotta maintain the cap. You can make change, don't change for that. Tell the whole truth, get paid for that.